Fasolina versus Fasolina. At the turn of the millennium, the big-boned Eric Ashe was splitting guys into atoms with a single touch. He tried to circle much of it against Eric away. The necklace man known as Butterbean had been crushing opposition in the boxing ring for 2 decades. Later stormed the kickboxing front line, and even cracked some chins in MMA for 8 years. It's time to enjoy the exorcistic knockouts by a one-of-a-kind character in sports history. The year's 1991. Eric Ashe from Jasper, Alabama, leads a life that blends into the background. With no prospects of a cat burglar career, he works at a factory from dawn to dusk and raises children with his wife. The turning point comes when Eric's colleagues convince him to enter a local tough man contest. What makes these guys so bad? It was a tournament open to anyone wanting to prove they were the baddest dude in the county. I'm double right here at my hole. For some prize money, bar regulars would go all out in the boxing ring. And Terrence caught the right hand. Standing at 5 feet 11 inches tall, Eric weighed over 420 pounds, well above the 400-pound super heavyweight limit. In order to enroll, he went on a strict diet, fueling his nearly perfectly spherical body with only chicken breasts and butter beans for 2 weeks. The latter stuck as the moniker and would soon replace Ashe's real name, Eric the Butterbin. Lacing up the gloves for the first time at 23 years old and rocking patriotic shorts, he preferred not to spend extra calories on defense. Immediately going for the kill instead, having tried to hold in a pressure-filled situation. You're often gonna like it after that. Rather than listening to Clubber Lang, he followed the simple tips from his wife and and in pursuit of a fat check, he disposed of his opponents like his favorite beans, using like most in their debut, Australia could probably get it, but can't be taken. After winning 5 Tough Man World titles and racking up 36 knockouts, in '94, Eric decided to challenge the pros. He caught the eye of Bob Arum, who offered the former factory worker a solid contract. The seasoned promoter knew that with Butterbean's size, he would struggle over long distances, so all his fights were limited to 4 rounds. Bursting onto the big stage, hungry for victory, Ashe displayed the true peak of male physique. He fights all the way through, so he fights 4 times a eagerly digesting anything thrown his way to close the distance. Like this landing anytime he feels like it. He would unload at close range. That time, Bunflow's got his head in his stomach catching people with counter hooks. He's seen some tough games, windmilling by Butterbin, he still has that. These gets made, and wisely initiated head-on collisions. You're like, there's the punches around. Where his opponents stood no chance. Allowed boxing to get held. Well, it's wild out from, so there goes It's over. One touch on the button by the cargo ship was all it took. His right hand there. Wanting to get the job done quickly against Luis Monaco, Butterbean revved it up from the word go. He's scary just coming at you. Butterbean banned up having some longer tough man fight, forcing an open brawl with his physique. Just the opposite of Butterbean, he lands a good right. There goes Monaco. Second knock. Then, rolling out into firing position, he unleashed a kiloton overhand. There goes Monaco. Butterbean gets the job done. A sharp counter over the lead hand, bob down and weave out to the side. He's a big, strong man. People started taking Eric seriously. Moreover, Eric was full of beans, sometimes fighting every week. In truth, we thought that man was crucial for a heavyweight. He could take a punch and fight more instinctively if he tries to get to land one of his own. Yab's not marching. In comes his high left kick to the body, then go upstairs, down his uppercut. The interesting thing, Gabe, is he has a little and wasn't too picky about the targeting. Seen referees get hit in the past. That might be one of the most dramatic shots he did to. His foe was so worried about the prospect of sharing the referee's fate that he opted not to continue work without enough to reps anymore. What, tonight he won too. Were you trying to tell the referee to stop the fight there, B? Well, no, exactly. He just got in the way, just like tough me, and somebody gets in the way and they go down. It wasn't intentional, but it happens. Amassing 15 consecutive victories in 1 year, 10 of them being demolition jobs. Butterbean got the chance to perform at the legendary Madison Square Garden round 1. Butterbean going right after his adversary, Mitchell Rose, weathered the initial onslaught. Rode wild with a left hook, Butterbean's running right hand to the body, and provided some food for thought with a series of precise 1-2s. Big right hand, right there, if you roll to that big up. 8 seconds to go on the right. Richard Butterbean responded the barrage to the torso. Bob Arum, the promoter top rank, called him the heavyweight king of the 4-round while he's done. But emptied his oxygen tank, beat by Nick Crow, becoming a stationary target. That's the uppercut we talked about, guys. Despite me doctors, every time it's doctors. Referee stopped the fight. The loss didn't hurt Beanstalk too much, and he was still mastering the art of fisticuffs. A month and a half later, the Humpty Dumpty from Alabama would showcase improved peekaboo skills. Move his head off the center line to boost the and head, you were talking about, trying to get that jab right on that position and embrace the role of a counterpuncher. What a game. I called it. What? Good luck to both of you. And when it was time to bite down on the mouthpiece, right hand by Butterbean in close, he calls himself the heavyweight champion of 4-rounder. No one could stop the Stars and Stripes juggernaut. Men's business tonight, good right hand by Butterbean, trying to fight that guy's hip. Piper's down and out of the way. Eric Ash, Butterbean, does it again. The overconfident Sean Jegan, riding a 3-fight knockout streak, barely scratched the outer layer. Then Jegan shaken up in a tricep. He fought William Harris at Beverly Hills, California, and realizing his mistake. Good right hand by Butterbean. Have you ever seen a greater disparity of the jumped on his bicycle, laddies, and beat is opening up. But couldn't pedal away in time. Butterbean is a good right hand, left hand down, both. Jegan hits his head hard. Fight is over. Notching his 10th consecutive KO, Butterbean claimed the special King of the 4-Rounders belt from the IBA to Butterbean. He is a very popular man. Now 25-1, Eric opened 1997 in style. Although irritated, as if he'd been served a salad, he allowed the undefeated Kurt Allen to get his licks in from a distance. He used a Holyfield Tyson approach, and then he'd score and then get out of there before intercepting an uppercut. Fighting game was a good right hand for Butterbean and another was for Butterbean, and barreling forward with wild swings like a giant snowball. In the 3rd round, Ash cornered his prey, started Bavarica, and spun his grinding windmill. Getting the shots at him, except for that right. Here goes Butterbean. Allen in trouble. Beat his throttle, forcing the referee to step in. As Eric knows, Butterbean goes to work with that Allen between the ropes. Big trouble. Team 80 gets between the two, stops the fight. A couple of months later, he metrically challenged Ken Woods. Good left part. Was finished off like a quarter-pounder with cheese. That's why he goes down. Tremendous right by Butterbean. The exorcism procedure took less than 5 minutes. Lights out, tremendous power from the 333-pounder. When it was time to announce the winner, the injured party was still in the realm of the undead. Oh, that's why he goes down.